Yeah, so the Cavs are just a really good basketball team. Like, there's only so many ways I can continue to say this. They're 8-1. They're a really good team, and this was an interesting game here as the Cavs took on the LA Lakers. Obviously, LeBron James on the Lakers, LeBron versus his former team, and the Cavs. I believe the Cavs, including today, have only beaten LeBron 2 times in his 4 years in Miami. And boy, he's been in LA for a little while now, about 4 or 5 years. So in his 8 years away from Cleveland, the Cavs have only beaten him twice. Wild, right? But today was one of those days where they did it, and it was interesting at first because the Lakers got off to a hot start. The Cavs bigs were in trouble, right? Jared Allen got in foul trouble very early, and then Evan Mobley did as well. We had to give a lot of minutes to Isaac Okoro early in this game, and then Robin Lopez had to play some. Rolo had to play some, and they weren't productive minutes. I mean, Robin Lopez had 2 points. Isaac, oh my goodness, Isaac's plus minus was -2. Okay, so Rolo had 3. Isaac had 0 points in 3 minutes. And look, Isaac is fine. And I'm starting to notice this with him. Isaac is fine when he starts, but for whatever reason, when he comes in as a reserve, he is terrible. Right, because last game when he had to start, he was fine out there, right? He was being aggressive in certain right spots. You were seeing some of the stuff that you like to see last year when he was a starter, especially when those injuries mounted up. I felt like he showed some progress. But if he is not starting, he is a real problem to have out there because these efforts that I don't want to say effort. I don't think he's not giving the same effort. But the play that he gives you when he's not starting is just bad, man, like unacceptable for you to try to even throw out there. But the rest of the box score, let me read it to y'all. Karis LeVert had 12. I think he had some really important buckets down the stretch as well. Went 5 of 10 from the floor, so a pretty decent night for Karis LeVert. Evan Mobley had a bad game, 5 points, 7 rebounds, pretty forgettable night, shot 28% from the field. Same thing with Jared Allen. Overall, a bad game. I thought he had a real strong fourth quarter, right? 5 of 13 from the floor, only 16 points and 11 rebounds. So he ended up with a double-double. But again, his first half was so poor. He had no points in the first half. His second half was really good. Right? He came out in the second half firing. Same thing with Evan Mobley. First half, points-wise, was terrible. But that second half, he was really, really useful. Donovan Mitchell, dude, he gets 30 points with such ease that I'm just convinced that he's just going to average 30 this year. How many rebounds did he have? 5 rebounds, 2 assists in 37 minutes, shot 58% from the field, so great efficiency there. Darius Garland with a average night for him, 24 points on 38% from the field. 33% from 3-point. It's about a pretty. It's like slightly below average for Darius Garland, I would say. And Kevin Love, he had a rough day shooting the ball early on. Made a couple of big threes down the stretch, shot 25%, and was 10 points. 10 points. Jetty with 9. I thought Jetty was really important down the stretch. What this team did, and I made a joke about it, but what this team did is what good teams do, right? They start off slow, but now instead of thinking, oh man, why are we down 5 points? Why are the Cavs not scoring? What's going on with their bigs? It was real clear to see what the problem was and how that was going to get fixed. And the problem was, hey, the bigs aren't in foul trouble. That really messed up the defense. So what this Cavs team needs to do is just be able to stay within 5-6 points of the Lakers until the second half, and then they can start really unloading when they're out of foul trouble. And that's exactly what they did, right? And that's why having Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland are very important, because this is a game that last year, if Darius Garland is the only one that can provide that firepower for you, you're probably not going to win because you don't keep it close enough in the second half for that rally to matter. But now that you have Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, hey, if the front court is stinking it up in the first half, you have enough, or they get into early foul trouble, you have enough firepower in that backcourt to just, hey, keep us in the game. point by point. Keep us in the game. We're not going to take the lead. We're not going to go any crazy runs, but keep us in the game for that first half. And that's what they did. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland just kept keeping the Cavs within 5-6 points. Every time he got to like 9, close to 10-point lead for the Lakers, just dribbled it back in, right? Like piece by piece, chip by chip, they got back in the game like that. And that's how they were able to keep this close. And then the second half came down and boom, Cavalanche. That's how they won this game. And that's how they're going to win a lot of games this year, right? Sometimes one half's not going to have it. Sometimes one half's going to be in foul trouble. The other half has to pick it up. We saw what this team did, and it's interesting that they did this, right? Because the game before, there was no Donovan Mitchell, there was no Darius Garland, and we had to see what this team could do without their two best scorers. Now, the two best scorers had to carry the team while the front court was a little bit slow to get started. And then the front court came and joined the party after the first half, and that's how you ended up here with the victory. Now, there are some things I want to be a little critical about. I know Isaac only played like 6 minutes. It felt like he played 3 more minutes than he should. And I don't know where everybody else is with this, but look, I don't want to give up on Isaac Okoro. But I do notice some of the trends with Isaac Okoro when it comes to the offense, when it comes to even the defense. And it's really starting to get hard to justify having him on the floor. And I like Isaac. But I think in order for Isaac to give you anything that's remotely positive, you kind of have to start him. And he's not a better starting option than Dean Wade. He's not a better starting option than Karis LeVert. So his opportunities to start are just going to be very small. And that's really when he's that's the only situations I've seen him be productive in. And when he comes in as a reserve, he's just so off kilter. He's not that great defensively, or as great defensively as you want him to be. And he is terrible offensively. I mean, to the point to where teams are sagging off of him like crazy. Like, it's just not, there's no reason to have him out there. And at some point you have to ask yourself, can Lamar Stevens give you 5 better, more productive minutes there than Isaac is giving you? Can Madadime give you 5? I know I butchered that. Please give me the phonetic spelling in the comment section below. I apologize. But can he give you 6 more productive minutes for you than Isaac can? And I know we're talking about 6 minutes a game, right? That's really what we're talking about. But those 6 minutes show, like, the reason the Cavs have had to come back from like 3 10-point deficits so far this year is because some of the stuff that goes on with the bench. And I get it. Once Ricky Rubio comes back, that's going to change, right? That means one less spot, right? Right now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys, 10 guys in the rotation. Right now, 3 DMPs a game. So you have to assume when Ricky comes back, who's coming out, it's probably Isaac. Right? It's probably Isaac. So I think what they're doing with this time right now is, hey, we're going to see what we have in Isaac, but when Ricky comes back, he's probably not going to play that much anyways. So we'll just go to that. But I don't know if there's much more to see here. I think I think he's doing more damage to his future than he is doing good playing these 6-7 minute spurts. I don't think this is beneficial to his development. I think this is actually a detriment to his development. And honestly, I know nobody wants to hear this. I think Isaac is somebody who needs to go on assignment. And if he can go on assignment, build some confidence down there offensively and defensively, maybe he could be better. He could be ready for a big role here in a year or so when the Cavs might need him. But the fact is that there's really no room for him in this rotation for him to fit, and it's really not doing him a justice when it comes to his development. And if this is about Isaac's development, I think the Cavs should strongly consider putting Isaac down there for assignment when it's not Canton anymore. It's just a Cleveland Charge. It's Wolfstein Center, basically. I think he should consider doing it. I know he's a 5th overall pick. It's kind of embarrassing, but if he's the type of guy who can kind of get over those things and use that opportunity to better himself mentally and physically, and as far as as his skill set goes, I think he can really get a lot out of a stint down there with the Charge, because that will help him develop offensively. It'll help his confidence, because right now I see an unconfident offensive player who's really in his head about the lack of offense that he can provide, to the point where he's not even doing the transition stuff that he's really good at. So I think he needs to go on assignment. And look, that's going to sound like a demotion. It's going to sound like I'm giving up on Isaac, but I wouldn't put him on assignment if I didn't think that you could develop him, because that does not do anything for his trade value. It actually lessens his trade value. But I think you can get something out of Isaac still. I just think they're not going about it right. I think he needs to go on assignment to get what you need to get out of him. I really do. I know it's never a fun thing for a top 5 pick to go to assignment, but I think that's something that the Cavs should strongly consider there. And I think that Lamar Stevens, in the meantime, can give you more productive minutes for what they're asking out that role in that 6 minutes than what you're getting out of Isaac Okoro, unfortunately. But still, that being said, I think there's something there to really get in with him. But yeah, this is this Cavs team, man. We're talking about one dude in the 10-man rotation, and it ain't that big of a deal. Ricky Rubio's coming back. That's not, you know what I mean? And then when Ricky Rubio comes back, I think that's going to really do a lot for that second team, because I think the minutes you get out of Jetty, and Karras and Dean and Kevin are going to be a lot more consistent and efficient when you get it. Right now, it's a little bit more inconsistent because there's no regulator really when they're out there on the court. So they're just kind of taking shots. And that's not really Kevin. Kevin does a good job regulating himself, but it's really for Jetty and Karras. They just be taking some wild shots sometimes, right? That aren't in the flow of the offense. And they're much better when they play in the flow of the offense, and that's what Ricky's going to do. But yeah, overall, the Cavs win another game today. They beat LeBron James. Shocking, man. Like LeBron, like, you know what's the thing? LeBron had 27 and 7, but I don't think he had a good game. Let me know what y'all think, man. And I know LeBron stands might see this and get mad at me, but he had 27 and 7. His plus minus is -8. And boy, their plus minus looks atrocious out here for the LA Lakers. Like, it's just negative, and then 3 for Max Christie. So they're just a bad team. But yeah, 27 and 7 and 4. That sounds like a classic LeBron night. But I don't know. It didn't feel like I know what it feels like when LeBron is dominating a game and is in control of it. He never had that at any point in this game. He just kind of felt like a footnote in this game. And it's weird to say that about a LeBron James team, but I guess this is just him not being his usual all-time dominating self and just now being a really good player. But yeah, that was that. From LA. Cavs come back tomorrow and play the Clippers super late at night, so I'll have a video up after that game as well. But I want to thank y'all for joining the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. But until the next time, I'll catch y'all later.